keep me away. You cannot keep me away. That's right. We're back with another episode of Crypto News with Julie Kinnis. I am your host, Julie Kinnis, and I am back. It's been quite the morning here. We did not have the Julie and Joxie show episode 12. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I had a good show planned for you guys too. But as you guys probably saw in the comments earlier this week, my little one wasn't feeling too good. She did fight me on going to urgent care yesterday. She thought, I have this, Mom. We're good. No, she wasn't. She started running another fever last night. She started barfing everywhere. She's barfing this morning. And I'm like, okay, we're going to urgent care now. Now. Aren't you happy we didn't go yesterday? Now she's having to pay the ultimate price today. Yeah, so she's struggling a little bit. The doctors swabbed her nose. We went in blazing hot. She was at 102 when they took her temperature at urgent care. And then they gave her some Tylenol and they swabbed her nose, which usually I've been giving her like Motrin and stuff every morning, but she was I didn't give it to her this morning. I'm like, you know what? We're taking you in blazing hot to the urgent care. So, and they swabbed her and she has influenza A. Influenza A. That's the strand, guys. So, they prescribed some Tamiflu. I got to go pick up some Tamiflu a little later this afternoon. And she's resting. She's been on copious amounts of cough syrup. So, she's like, ooh, I'm drunk. It's actually kind of funny. She cracks me up. Actually. After I gave her the cough syrup, she started to fall asleep. And then I came back in to take her temperature. And when I took her temperature, she had this was yesterday. Or maybe the day before. She opens up her eyes. Her eyes were like bright red from the flu. And she tells me, I was dreaming I was smoking a joint with Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg. Okay, yes, she is my daughter. But she's never done those things before. And she does not know that I do those things. I hide that from her. I will not contribute to my kids being exposed to that. I will not. And you guys know I don't drink anymore. So I don't let my kids really be around drinking either. So they're not really around any of that stuff anymore. But I will tell you, because my daughter is getting a little older. She'll be 17 this year. She is like, but when I turn 21, can I have a margarita? I'm like, if you want a margarita when you're 21, you can have one. So I'm not gonna hold her back from having a margarita when she turns 21. I just have to make sure she's safe. So my little mama bear is going to come out when that day comes. But we still have time, you guys. She's not going to be 21 for a while. We're still trying to get her driving. So she has been driving her car around. She's getting a little better at it. She hasn't done it in a while. But yeah, so that's it. That's the story, guys. I was having to do mom stuff with my daughter this morning. So she's doing a little better. Hopefully she drops in on the comments. If Artistic Paws is out there, say hello. If not, we'll see. So yes, and I see David Gokhstein's in the comments, you guys, on X. So he's like the only comment in there. Shout out to David Gokhshtein. You guys, if you don't already subscribe to him, go subscribe to him. Follow him on X. Follow him on YouTube. He's been doing these live streams every day. The breakdown. I think he's on episode almost 700 now. Or maybe he passed 700. But he has been doing a lot of shows and they have gotten so good this year. He does the charting with Landy. It's so good. Oh my gosh, I'm frozen over there. I hate when I get frozen with an open mouth. Guys. But I was in such a good mood today. I needed to come back and go live. I thought we were going to be pumping a little more than we are today. And we're not pumping very much yet, although it does look like there are a few little green candles and a little bit of green Momo starting to come out. So we're going to go ahead and pull open the crypto charts. All right. I was thinking about my daughter and her dream about smoking with Wiz Khalifa. I'm like, and then my son, he's really into like musician shirts, band shirts, stuff like that. But he's always been into like hip hop and rap and stuff. So I picked up a Tupac shirt for him. And my daughter was really jealous. She was super jealous of the Tupac shirt. So this morning I took my son to school. He was in his Tupac shirt. He just got his hair done, so his hair is looking all fly. It's like full and psh. Yes. But yes, we were bumping All Eyes on Me, the All Eyes on Me album. I swear I must have listened to that album for like a year straight when I was in high school. But we pulled that out and I could tell he was grooving on it. So we had a good start to the Friday outside of the doctor. All right, taking a look at Bitcoin, as we can see here, on our market cipher line, we're starting to have a little bit of money flow into the green here on the 5-minute chart. And we are starting to see a little bit of move up. So potentially, you guys, we do potentially sometimes see the momentum and money flowing in a little later in the day on Friday. But I always feel like Fridays are a pretty good chance for us to have some positive inflows. And here we are. We're having some positive inflows now. So we were back at 69. But we're hovering around the 70K range at 70,000, almost 200. 70,000, almost 200. So yeah, we've got money flow looking good. We're going to keep our eyes on this. So Bitcoin looking nice here. Ethereum, I feel like it's just trading sideways. But it also is starting to show some positive momentum here. So is money flow starting to go back into crypto? Is money flow starting to flow back in? In fact, we heard out of the Strait of Hormuz that they were going to start charging $2 million for tankers to get through, and that they would accept payment in cash or crypto. Positive inflows into crypto? Maybe. Anyway, Ethereum, it's currently trading 2,135. Solana, it is down just a hair from yesterday, still at $89. It has not moved into the green yet, but we will probably see those positive flows trickle down. Taking a look at Chainlink, trading at $9.05. With Binance trading at $640. Dogecoin back at 9. Sui is at 95. All right. That is where we are at. Let me go ahead and pop us over to the crypto bubbles. And if you guys would like access to the market cipher trade tool, oops. Did I mess this up here? Hold on. I'm probably going to freeze. Hang on, you guys. The content is loading. Am I frozen? I'm probably frozen. It's probably all frozen. We like it that way. Yep, I can see it. But we're here. We are here. Small and mighty. We might be a little slow, but we're going to win the race, you guys. We might be a little slow. In fact, speaking of races, the marathon is here in town. They keep talking about it. On the news and reminding me that I'm not quite ready to run the marathon yet. So I'm like, I want to run the marathon. I'm not quite ready to run the marathon here in town. I'll probably have to run a different marathon, but they keep talking about it. And I just keep thinking like, man, I felt like I wasn't ready for the last half marathon I ran. This time I want to do the full marathon. So I feel like I need to be prepared mentally, physically, all of the things. But I felt like I wasn't running it very fast, and I ran the fastest time I've ever ran. So it makes me want to continue with that momentum. So you can start slow, but you can win the race. All right, taking a look at the top 100, it's kind of relatively green. In fact, what is this freaking Siren token that is up again? It is up again. It's up 5 spots. I don't know why I'm just like slow and laggy right now. It is up again though. It's weird. And it's going to be in the top 100 for like maybe a week and then it's going to drop down. Here's Monero. Let's take a look at Monero. Trading at $338. Was talking about Monero just yesterday in some DMs. All right, you guys. That is, ooh, why am I so small? Hello. Why was I so small? All right, you guys. We do. I'm super grainy too. Why am I so grainy? And Brian is here. Where's Brian? Yeah, where is Brian? Okay, where's Brian? Yeah, where is Brian? Oh no. I see Po-Man though. Hello, Po-Man. Po-Man didn't leave me. Brian just comes for the #1 spot and leaves. I don't blame him. He's, yeah, speaking of marathons, yeah, the guy that comes and picks up the bib and then jumps at the end and takes the first place. It happens. It happens, you guys. All right, let's go ahead and get into our breaking crypto news. Or not? Is it going? Lord help me, you guys. If you could see what I see. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. Okay, we're going to start with this article first. Dun, 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 dun. Since we have been talking about prediction markets quite a bit here, and you guys know how I feel about prediction markets and the fact that they have essentially been skirting around the laws, I see I am frozen. Hello. Am I muted and frozen? Frozen and muted? What in the heck? It's going. I'm good. Thank you. I don't know. Am I? Guys, I wish you could see what I had happen on my end. It like did not play my breaking news thing, and then it like I could tell I was frozen, and then all of a sudden the breaking news thing came back just for me, not for you, and then I was muted. And there was just, guys, there's weird stuff going on. There's, you know what? I have not talked about the sun in a while. I've not talked about the sun in a while. But if you guys follow what's going on with the sun supposedly let off like these 7 mega blasts, CMEs, coronal mass ejections towards the earth. And they said it was going to take like 48 hours to hit the earth. So, I am like super frozen on the other end over there. You guys know I love solar, so I've got to talk about the sun, right? I've got to talk about the sun. Oh, look, it finally just randomly pulled this article up on stage for me. Po-Man says, that was me, my guess. My bad. The sun really has coronal mass ejections, and I don't know why I find that term really funny. Because it sounds kind of perverted. But so if I want it to not sound perverted, I'll just call it a CME. But yeah, coronal mass ejections. So basically all this stuff comes out from the sun. It hits the earth and it can do all kinds of things to our electric grid, causes issues with Wi-Fi. I'm frozen again. I could tell. It's okay, guys. We're going for it. We're going for it. I look blurry. The article randomly popped itself up in the middle of me talking about the sun and its mass ejections at us, which is true. It is a fact, you guys. Oh my gosh, Mike Bulmer. Tell your boyfriend to stay off Pornhub when you're streaming. That right there. That is it. That is it. Pornhub bogs everything down. It's basically streaming Pornhub right now is basically the equivalent of downloading something from LimeWire back in the day and saying it was going to take 300 hours to download the song, and it was really some crazy virus that was going to infiltrate your computer and make everything run slow. Anyway, see how easy it is for you guys to get my ADD? Okay, moving it back, you guys. This is hot off the press this morning. Kalshi gets a temporary Nevada ban and dispute over sports betting. We knew this was coming, right? We knew this was coming. We've been talking about it. They basically have taken sports betting and made it available nationwide to any and everyone without having to go through all of the legal loopholes, all of the legal parameters that are required to become a sports betting type entity. So, what did we think was going to happen? Well, we said that probably gambling was going to come down, and that gambling has probably some political ties, and that they are probably going to be preparing to come down hard. Plus, Kalshi printed billions of dollars out of thin air. They came out of nowhere. This girl who found her Kalshi came out of nowhere, and she's a billionaire now. And so you don't think that the gaming and gambling industry is not going to look at that and say, well, hold on. So they have a temporary Nevada ban and dispute over sports betting. A Nevada court issued a 14-day ban on a wide range of contracts from prediction market firm Kalshi as the firm continues to battle with state regulators. So Kalshi is now under a 2-week restraining order barring bets in Nevada while legal debate proceeds over a long-term status of prediction markets there. The First Judicial Court of Nevada issued a 14-day order on Friday directing the platform to cease offering events contracts in that state. A federal appeals courts cleared the way on Thursday for state regulators to seek the order, which Nevada Gaming Control Board first sought in 2025 when it told Kalshi to cease its sports contract. So they kind of knew it was coming, right? Kalshi has argued that the cease should be moved to a federal court, but that the appeals court sent it back to Nevada, despite the company's claim that it's facing imminent harm on the state's actions, from the state's actions. So imagine you have been in Nevada. You've been going through all of the regulations. You have been under scrutiny. You have been having to go through all of the bureaucratic red tape to be able to get yourself licensed. And then Kalshi comes along and just sweeps it all up, and they think they could just ask for forgiveness later. And so this is where they found themselves. What I find funny is that it particularly is calling out Kalshi. Okay. On Friday, the state court halted Kalshi's sports, entertainment, and election bets as the parties continued to argue over the relative authority of the state regulators to govern event contracts businesses. And the Nevada judge determined that the gaming board can't properly function under these circumstances, and an unlicensed participant beyond the board's control, such as Kalshi, obstructs the board's ability to fulfill its statutory functions. The court's following up with a hearing on April 3rd. So, a spokesman for Kalshi declined to comment on the Nevada development. Kalshi is being sued or prosecuted in several states on similar grounds. Earlier this week, Arizona's Attorney General charged Kalshi with running an unlicensed gambling business and offering illegal election wagering. So they're coming down hard, any and every way they can, because it's become a very easy target. And plus, they're just, the marketing is crazy. Like, I'm scrolling on Instagram, and Instagram is like, oh, you can pay your phone bill with Kalshi. And it's literally targeting young adults in a way that is trying to get them to look at it as a revenue source. And everything that the gaming industry had to fight, and all of these things they had, legal loopholes they had to jump through. And now here's Kalshi. Here's Kalshi. Hey, we'll just do what we want. We'll do what we want. So, meanwhile, Chairman Michael Selig of the U.S. CFTC is insisting that his federal agency actually has proper authority over the markets, not the states. He filed a court brief stating that argument and has repeated in a number of recent public appearances, promising he'll fight the states on that point. He's also begun moving to establish the CFTC's policy on prediction markets. So Michael Selig is all for it. He's like, nope, I'm going to take federal oversight and we're going to rubber stamp it the go ahead. Federal regulations generally supersede the state regulations, but the court may need to weigh in on who is properly entitled to the jurisdiction. Major League Baseball, as we talked about yesterday, has thrown in with the CFTC signing the Memorandum of Understanding this week on an oversight of predictions market and also inking a partnership with Polymarket. So I think it was Peace of My Mind who had said in my comment on my short about that, what did they call it? They were giving like this special oversight. They basically created a new term to give oversight and authority for these markets to work in conjunction with Major League Baseball, which is a huge blow to the gambling and gaming industry. I mean, look, we already knew if you've been to Vegas before and you've been to Vegas recently, 10 years ago Vegas to now Vegas is two different types of Vegas. Like, you used to be able to go to Vegas and put some money in the slot machines on the craps tables. You could play and actually win. Anytime I try to gamble in Vegas anymore, I don't really win. And I was someone who used to love the craps tables. And now I'm going to go, when I go to Vegas with Joxie, I'm definitely making her hit the craps tables because she's never played craps. And I'm superstitious in a way that I know that she's never played before. So she's going to have beginner's luck as a girl. So we're going to do that. But for the most part, the last few times I've gone to Vegas and I've hit the craps tables or put some money in, I haven't won. And so by and large, people aren't really gambling in Vegas anymore. They're not. They're going to see concerts and sporting events, and they're doing things in Vegas on the Strip, but they're really not doing anything. It's more about the state's tax revenue from gambling. Yeah, I think that's why the state is trying to continue to, like, Nevada, their entire industry is gaming. Like, as soon as you cross state line, it was like a whole thing back in the day when I was growing up. Like, oh my gosh, what was that? The Buffalo Bills casino, and they had like the roller coaster, and like we went and rode on that when I was little. And I mean, it's all closed down now, but it's like when you hit Nevada, when you hit the state line, it's like gambling is open and available here. Like, come gamble in our state. And in California, you can't. And so anyway, yeah, I just find it really interesting. So, moving on from there, Ariel Givner, you guys know I love her. She was the one who initially posted this morning. Nevada just hit Kalshi with a temporary restraining order. So the first judicial court barred Kalshi from offering any event contracts on sports, elections, and politics. So the order is effective immediately and lasts 14 days, and then uploaded the first page of the docket. Let's see. Arizona charged Kalshi with 20 criminal counts the other day. So Arizona just turned Kalshi's situation into a 20-count criminal case. The Attorney General is alleging that Kalshi let Arizona users place what are, in their view, straight-up wagers on things like sports outcomes and player props. So, and the player props, to me, when we're talking about a time where, like, we know that certain players have leaked information or have been involved with things on the inside. And so if you can make bets on players, like who's to say that these people aren't doing stuff to throw a game? I don't know. The oversight that was put in place by the state of Nevada was put there for a reason. It was put there because gambling will ultimately lead some people into destitution. They will not have any money. And I have seen, if you've seen people that live in Vegas or like people that live around there, like they like to gamble. There's lots of, they don't go to the strip, but they'll like, they'll go to their corner store that has like, a place they can get a couple cocktails and gamble at the slot machines near their house. They don't go to the strip though. But if you've ever done your research on Vegas, and particularly the homeless people in Vegas, like there is a whole community of homeless people that live underground in Vegas that have lost everything from gambling. And these people have borrowed money, they destroy their credit, they can't have a job, alcohol used to be free, and so these people had addictions also on top of the gambling. There were things put into place and rules put into place so that these things don't happen. And now ultimately by opening it up federally, you're opening this up to anyone. And especially if it's targeting like Kalshi in particular, like I say, how can you pay your phone bill? Oh, well, just bet on this. Well, now that's like very irresponsible for somebody to be just trying to make their way in the world, and what little money they do have coming in, they're gambling with it in hopes that they can, make money back off of it. When did we stop teaching, proper financial etiquette? Like, I don't know. It's not worth, like, we're paying the price of poor financial decisions that were made a really long time ago. Like, we shouldn't continue to be making poor financial decisions. We probably know that this is not a good idea. This is probably not a good idea to allow people to make bets on players. Because now you're going to have people that think that they're, that they have a chance. But then the player is like, potentially in on it. And I don't know. It leaves a lot of gray area. I don't like it, you guys. I don't like it. Okay. Moving on to the next story. NASDAQ winning SEC approval to move stocks on chain to show how Wall Street is taking charge of crypto tech. NASDAQ structure, the SEC approved open doors to bring blockchain benefits to equities while preserving the same old intermediaries and market structure. So things are looking like stocks are going to be 24/7 now. The SEC's fresh approval of NASDAQ's tokenized security framework marks a key turning point for how stocks could trade in the future, bringing blockchain to the core of the U.S. equities market, but in Wall Street's terms. The regulatory green light allows NASDAQ to test a system where certain stocks and ETFs can be issued and settled as blockchain-based tokens while trading alongside traditional shares. In practice, investors could hold tokenized versions of securities in a digital wallet with clearing and settlement handled by the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. However, its effort wasn't sweeping overhaul of market operations. Rather, its focus was on post-trade plumbing. The DTCC executive, Brian Steele, said that the firm aims to build safe and secure tokenization services to advance a more resilient, inclusive, cost-effective, and efficient financial system, while working with exchanges and market participants to scale adoption. So I feel like we're going to start to see more occurring with the tokenized stocks. What I'm wondering though is, okay, there's a couple of things, right? By tokenizing the stocks, it opens it up to anyone in any market, right? So like a lot of people, like sometimes there's people that are overseas that participate in the US stock market by, running a VPN or something. But this allows people in any country to buy, because it's tokenized on a blockchain. So you're not necessarily, it allows the US stock market to be open to many, many more countries. So I do think that there is a benefit to that. But I also wonder what the ultimate goal is by this. Is it so that these tokenized stocks have surveillance capabilities so that you go and make a purchase of a tokenized stock on a wallet and then you're doxing potentially, some like safe wallet that you keep your storage funds on or something. So I don't know. When I look at this, I see positives, which are the stock market will be open to anyone in any country 24/7, 365. That's great. The negatives are what type of backdoor surveillance technology is in this tokenization that it just could be something you don't necessarily want. So, all right, moving on. Let's see. I always lose the lottery on rare times I do. Let's see. I lose betting. I lose cash giveaways. I just buy crypto instead. You are like me, John Legend. I will do scratchers. I've never been into like the state lotto or Super Bowl. I will never do that. I've done like scratchers here and there. But I never really win. And if I do win on a scratcher, it's like a free ticket. Or it's like $5. And it's like not even enough for me to care to go back to the store I bought it from and cash it in. So, but I know people who have my entire life bought this state lotto every time it got to a certain amount. And if they would have put that money into stocks or REITs or Bitcoin or anything, every time they purchased that lotto ticket, if they would have just bought Bitcoin instead, they would have way more money, because ultimately all of that money that was purchased on lotto tickets over the years, it was just lit on fire. And then come to find out, like a lot of the people who win the lotto are government employees, or they're like people that they're trying to capture and they need them to come out and dox themselves. And so if they announce that they have won this lotto ticket and all this money, they're going to come out and claim it. And then, oh, gotcha. So I don't like lotto, you guys. All right. I love this story because it is so absolutely ridiculous. A Bitcoin whale holding more than 147 million wakes up after 13 years to make a $56 transfer. A Bitcoin wallet inactive since 2012 has moved only $56 worth of Bitcoin, spotlighting a stash now valued at roughly 146 million after it has sat dormant for 13 years. This is crazy. A long dormant Bitcoin whale has reactivated after 13 years and 7 months of inactivity, shifting 0.00079 Bitcoin, a tiny fraction of the fortune now worth 147 million. On-chain data from BitInfo charts shows that the legacy address received 2,100 Bitcoin on July 5th of 2012, when Bitcoin traded at just around $6.59 per coin. At today's prices, that stash is valued at roughly 147 million, turning the initial outlay of about 13,800 into an unrealized gain of more than 10,000x. Wow. It's just Blocky and Julie. Don't worry. What are you talking like us being what? Well, he's not the bull. Are you saying he's the bull? I don't know. What am I missing? I don't know. All right, so the move caught the eye of on-chain lookers. The whale alert and look on-chain that monitor so-called Satoshi-era addresses, more often used with coins acquired during Bitcoin's early years. Reread what Mike said. Oh, it's just blocky, Julie. Don't worry. I see what you're saying. I didn't read it right. Okay, so traders are debating if this is a diamond hands move or if it's a recovered key. So Bitcoin traders are split as to whether this is a hodler who has just money all that time. Oh, he's the whale. And it only moved $56. It's actually smart because, like, look, if we're paying on unrealized gains, or if we're paying on realized gains, then yeah, you'd only want to move $56, right? And ideally, like, look, in 2012, you were just chilling with 13K and you dumped it all into Bitcoin. It's a pretty solid move. Like, you had to feel pretty confident in what you were doing to just go dump 13K into Bitcoin back in 2012. Like, you were like, yeah, I've got some dough and this makes sense. So boom, let's go. But yeah, so what do you guys think? Do you think they were locked out and they finally got access back into the wallet? Why would you only move $56? And where did they move it to? Did they move it to another wallet that was also holding a lot of money? I have so many questions now. I guess I could go look it up, huh? I could go do some blockchain due diligence, I suppose. All right, let's move on. Ledger hires ex-Circle CEO as the CFO, opens an NYC office, and expands U.S. business. So Ledger names John Andrews as the chief financial officer and opens a New York office to expand its U.S. operations and institutional businesses. Crypto hardware provider Ledger has appointed Circle's executive John Andrews as chief financial officer and opened a New York office as part of the U.S. expansion. According to Friday's announcement, the New York office is part of a multi-million-dollar investment in Ledger's U.S. operations that will create dozens of roles across enterprises and marketing teams. It will also serve as a hub for the company's institutional business, including its Ledger Enterprise platform, which provides custody and governance tools for digital assets. They've had some controversy over the years, but Ledger, I guess, is a solid one. I guess a lot of these companies at some point have had some sort of controversy surrounding it, right? So yes, but that's good to see that there will be some jobs moving here to the US, and that's part of, what we were wanting to do by making us a crypto capital of the world. So promises made, promises kept. Where's our Bitcoin strategic reserve? Don't ask about that. Cynthia Lummis will be gone before it ever exists. So we're just not going to talk about that. But you guys, I am getting super excited. Bitcoin conference is coming up. I think I'm like starting to reach out to people to plan my stuff. Getting excited. And I'm really sad we didn't get to do the Julie and Joxie show. I was wanting to talk about Afro Man. If you guys didn't know, Afro Man had some stuff going on. He was in the news. He had to go to court over some things. He's been making some music that made some people mad in, law enforcement positions. So I was sad because I was like, we're going to play Afro Man. I'm going to show this whole story. He's got some funny songs he's made. And then we were going to close it out with Because I Got High. Because I got high. Anyway, that's the show for today, you guys. Gotta end it on that note. Silly on a Friday. So I hope you all have a good weekend. If you guys are new here, smash the subscribe. I'm like 2 subscribers away from my goal. Yesterday, I was at $13.99, and then somebody unsubscribed to me. Yeah, Julie, Joxie would fall down again. Guys, we're going to have so much fun in Vegas. Like, I can't even. I'm going to go easy on Sunday. I'm going to try and plan a little something intimate with the girls. Maybe some boys if they're cool, but you know, I don't know. I'm thinking just the girls. I'm gonna do it for the girls. So anyway, you guys, I hope you all have a good one. I will catch you all on Monday. I will be back for crypto news at 1 o'clock Pacific time. As always, this show is powered by the Gokhshtein News Network and sponsored by Market Cipher. If you want your own Market Cipher trade tools, there is a link in the description. Look them up. Help a sister out. Help keep the lights on. All right, I will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.